Thanks for staying with us. It is still in the game on News Central TV. I am Udoka Njoku. And of course, I've still got Gwemideko Popola in the studio, who is practically disappointed with how Team Nigeria performed at the Olympics. But talking about Team Nigeria now, the Minister of Sports, John Onwan-Eno, has urged Nigerians to use the experience at the Games to turn attention to what the sector requires. He said the nation should turn what happened at the Olympics in France into a huge positive. The minister also queries the level of sports infrastructure in Nigeria as well as funding, adding that there are numerous challenges facing the administration of the industry.
Requested for was provided. In terms of what the ministry was supposed to do, either in terms of local camping, foreign camping, in terms of whatever, and I've taken a study and found out most of the things that are always a problem, Olympics after Olympics. And I think that what we tried to do was to make sure that we close all the gaps. If it's in terms of paying of athletes, they will pay. I don't understand how, because I know how just won Olympics. I know how much it had impacted on me, on my thinking, on my imagination that things shouldn't be this way. Olympics is not what you come and disgrace yourself. So if you want to avoid that disgrace, you must work hard to be able to do well in order not to get out disgraced. Unless perhaps majority of people just look at this as just a jamboree, just come every 4 years. You know, there is no, you're not looking at it in terms of the seriousness that is required. I don't know whether you were here at the beginning, but I think that I mentioned a number of things. And I said that fortunately, we have the National Youth Games that are coming up later in the year. We have the National Sports Festival. I mean, if at previous times we've just looked at these games as normal routine, I think that for the first time, the outcome of these Olympics should more than challenge us to be more serious and more strategic in terms of the products that are going to come out of these various games and in terms of what to do with them going forward. They become our own beginning seed.
The Minister of Sports right there saying going forward we need to do better with our sports, especially with the infrastructure, and knowing that the national trials will be coming up, talking about the Youth Festival will be coming up, and we need to do better with our track and field events. Gwemideko, what do you make of what the minister has said? Do you think this is medicine after death?
Basically, for me, it is not just medicine after death. I just feel it's pretty a waste of time, because they will say this, and by next week, everyone has forgotten about what happened at the Olympics. And that's the painful thing for me. It is not about the lamentations afterward. It is about what happens after the lamentations. What happens after the air dryer treatment? You know, that is the question for me. It is not just saying all this that he has said on camera. What happens behind the scenes? What are the plans taken? What are the steps taken for the next 4 years that the Olympics will come around? That is the question. See, for me, it's okay to, to say everything he has said. It's okay to get angry. It's okay to say, okay, we are not going there to play anymore. But the question is this: what is the sports ministry? What is the sports federation doing immediately after the statement has been said? I'm tired of our leaders just talking and talking and talking, but not giving actions. It is the actions that will determine what will happen in the next 4 years if we are still going to come back empty-handed or with a clean sheet, like a friend said earlier on. So for me, it is not just about talking the talk. It is about walking the talk. Are we ready to walk the talk?
Big question right there. And of course, the Nigerians are saying it was a clean sheet of Olympics, winning no medals right there at the Games. But then there's still some positives to take away from the Games, knowing that some of these athletes actually gave their all, in as much as we keep bashing some of them, but some actually gave their all, wanting to do well for Team Nigeria, but it didn't just happen for the team. Now we've got joining us all the way away from Nigeria, talking about Peter Moreno, who is still an athlete. I actually called him former athlete, and he said, no, he is still an athlete. He's still ready to come back and run and also do better than what has been in previous events for Nigeria. So Peter Moreno, thank you for joining us today on the show.
Thank you. Hi, good morning, everybody. How are you guys doing?
We're very well. We're very well. Before we talk about Team Nigeria's performance, I'm sure you heard the Minister of Sports, John Onwan-Eno, talking about the positives to take away from how Team Nigeria performed. What do you make of his speech?
Personally, me, I totally just think he's just talking absolute rubbish just to make everybody happy that's watching. We've all been here. We've all seen this. It's happened year after year, year after year, Olympic after Olympic, world champion after world champion. It's countless and countless of numbers. It has happened in Facebook's era. It's happened in Mary Anyale's era. It happened in my era. It's gonna happen and happen and happen. All this thing he's just talking just to keep everybody quiet. It's absolutely utter trash. That's what I think of what he just said. Because if it's not trash, this Olympic should have been our best Olympic.
Right.
Should have been, because of the athletes we have going there, of the times they have run this season, of what they have achieved, both in school, out of school. We should have been picking up at least 67 medals. That's what I believe. Look at that. Toby Amusu, number 1. Favour Ofili, Rosemary, Chidi. The numbers are there. And they've all performed well this season. So I disagree with what the Minister of Sport was talking about. And if I have my way, I will call him out and me and him will have one-on-one.
Right. Talking about one-on-ones now, let's take a look at assessing how Nigeria performed at the Olympics. You rightly mentioned Toby Amusan, Favour Ofili, Ese Brume. We had medal of hopefuls at the Games. And like you rightly mentioned as well, these athletes performed well at the World Championships and also at their various schools. So what exactly do you think went wrong? Away from administrative problems now, what exactly went wrong with these athletes at the Olympics?
Athletes, I'm sorry, it's not the athletes. I mean, in some stages, we athletes we are our own biggest problem. But at the same time, it is not the athletes. I can never blame the athletes of what happened in the Olympics. I put every single blame on the federation, on the Nigerian president in general. Like, not even just Nigerian athletics president, the whole Nigeria in general. Because the way I look at this, everything starts from the top to the bottom. That's the way I see it. If the top is not doing what they're supposed to do, then the bottom have nothing to work with. But at the same time, AFN is not clean. AFN is not innocent. AFN has messed up everything. And they're still doing it. And no one is going to go and fight or stand for the athletes. You have to think about it. I'm still an athlete. I know the amount of stress we go through just to train. 4 years of an athlete's life is a big year. It's a big 4 years for someone to dedicate to training, to sports, nutrition, being clean, and then go to Olympics, and then this happens. This is all because the country is not supporting us. There's no well-being. There's no better nutrition. There's no good doctors. Nothing is there. I don't know what to say, because the more I speak about it, the more I get angry. There's just nothing there in place for Nigerian athletes to succeed. There's nothing. Look at Amber Annie, that just ran a massive PB in the 400 for UK, and she was also in school competing against the likes of people like Rosemary and Favour, even though it's not the same discipline. But look at how good UK are keeping her intact, and look at what she did in the Olympics. Why can't Nigeria be like that? Why? It hurts my feeling. It hurts my feeling to see that we can get medals and the medals are not there. It hurts me so much. And one person can't fix Nigeria. We all need to fix it together.
True. I totally agree with you. Now, the best time to start preparing for the next Olympic Games is today. It is right now. And of course, going forward, in 4 years' time, let's take Toby Amusan, for example. Toby is currently 27 years. In 4 years' time, she will be 31. Ese Brume, who was also a medal hopeful for Nigeria, is 28. In 4 years' time, she will be 32. Would they still have the energy to still be medal hopefuls? Would they still have the strength to carry the pressure of leading Team Nigeria to the Olympics to at least win a medal in those games? What are we doing exactly? Because we keep talking about grassroots. There are no competitions in the country to enable these grassroots come out eventually to be challengers for world championships, except those ones who have international berths. The only competition we know here in the country, apart from the national games, there's also the making of champions, athletics trials. There's really nothing happening with the country. So how can we actually correct the wrongs, apart from the leadership, in terms of competition now?
For me personally, I think everybody that's in the board member needs to go. From the TD, from the president, all the way down to the AR, all of them, they need to go. We don't need them. We need new people that are actually angry to see Nigeria athletes do better. People that are thriving to make us do better, not the people we have on the board. You know, Nigerian athletics is like politics. When you take over, they suck you into their system and you become like them. Nothing changes. Just like our presidents, nothing changes. We need to get rid of all of these people. And if I have the power, I will get rid of them. But I don't. Like I said, one person cannot fight for Nigerian athletics. I need people to come and stand with me and fight to get these old people, because they're all old. They are the age that they need to retire and sit down in their house and just rest. And let the young ones that have the energy to go and look for sponsorship and to look for people that will actually entertain and sit down and watch athletics. Because right now, our national trial, there's nobody there. It is us, the athletes, that support the athletes. There's no advertisement, there's nothing. The only way we can do better, I can promise you this, is to get rid of everybody on that board member. That is the honest truth.
Wow. Now, going back to these Olympics now, we saw somebody said Nigeria won a lot of medals. The Nigerians in diaspora won a lot of medals. But we can blame it on the fact that we do not have the infrastructure in the country to enable these athletes train. If you look closely, you will see a lot of Nigerians representing other countries, and they did amazingly well. And some of them actually said that when they tried to represent Nigeria, it was a huge challenge. It was stressful. They were not getting the things that they wanted. But heading over outside the country, they kept on doing better. And a lot of them actually won gold medals, silver medals at this year's Olympic Games. And it feels like we'll have more exodus of Nigerian athletes leaving the country.
If you want the honest truth, I don't want every single Nigerian athlete to leave Nigeria and compete with somebody else. Because Nigeria, AFN, Nigeria do not deserve us. They do not deserve us. We don't have competitions. We don't have good nutrition. We don't have good tracks. Track where that small thing where somebody will just use and run. We don't even have good ones. National stadium is horrible. Even primary school grass is better than national stadium. So how do you expect us to train? Okay, me, I'm a decathlete. There's no one day that I can tell you that I trained in Nigeria for pole vault and there was a bed. So what can I do? High jump. I will do high jump training. I will land on concrete. So, like, we can't do nothing. Look at, okay, Temitope is a good example. Temitope was my training partner back when I was in Nigeria. Me and her would train. Temitope would jump and land. Her back would hurt. Now she's in US. We didn't have many months where she's on the US. She's jumping 190-something. Temitope should have gone to Olympic final. Me, I know for a fact, Tope should have entered the Olympic final for high jump. Favour Ofili 100% would have gotten a medal in the 100 meters. Rosemary would have most likely gotten a medal with the current shape that she was in. Toby Amusu, no doubt, should have gotten a medal. It's the Broomman, no doubt. Nigerian men, Formula 1, no doubt, should have at least gotten a 4th place or even a medal. So, if we can do this outside our own country, then why can we not do it in our country? Because we don't have the facilities. We are coming to Olympic, we're going to France last minute. There's no place to sleep. Look at the accommodation is not even good. I was talking to one of my sports daughter. She said the bed they're sleeping on is not that good. Her back is hurting her every single morning when she wakes up. Before even that, now Nigeria to pay athletes that $6,000. They said no, they want to pay them in naira, 6 million naira. $6,000 and 6 million naira, are they made?
No.
That alone will make an athlete say, I don't want to compete again. I've lost motivation. Give the athlete what they deserve and what they're entitled to. Support them, give them love, and don't abuse them. And I promise you, you will see a difference in Nigerian athletes. You will see a massive difference. It doesn't matter where you're from, whether you're born in England or US or wherever, as long as you're a Nigerian and you want to compete, they should treat everybody equal and the same.
Right.
And you will see a big difference in track and field in Nigeria. I can promise you that.
You know, talking about equal treatment, I also heard somewhere, reports has it that some of the local-based athletes were complaining that they were not being paid the same thing the foreign-based athletes are being paid, and it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. Now, in 4 years' time, where do you see Nigerian athletics, especially with what happened at this year's Olympics? Do you think there'll be a change? Would there be a resurgency for Nigerian sports, especially the athletics part of sports in Nigeria? Would there be a resurgency? Would there be a rethink, a rebuild, or would there be a total collapse in 4 years' time, especially with what happened at the Olympics?
It's going to be the same. It's going to be the same, or it's going to be worse. And the reason why I'm saying this is because if they couldn't, if this Olympic could not, in fact, the way I see this Olympic would have been our best Olympic in years. In years, this Olympic should have been our best. Anybody watching this will agree that this Olympic should have been the best Olympic Nigerian athletes ever had. But nothing was fixed. 10 years ago, nothing has gotten fixed. 30 years ago, nothing has gotten fixed. It's the same thing that's happened 50 years ago is happening again. And it's going to happen after my era. It's going to happen after my own daughter's era. But the only way to get this changed, like I said, is to get rid of all these old people where we get on top board. All our officials, all our timekeepers, all these people where they need glasses. They go need like 5 glasses before they go stop their watch. We need them all out of our system. We need fresh, new, young, agile young men that are willing to make sure that we are ready to thrive. Nigerian athletics in 4 years' time is going to be worse. I'm sorry to say it's going to be worse unless these people are out.
Wow. Well, we'll keep our fingers crossed and keep hoping for the best for Nigerian athletics, Nigerian sports in general, because we keep calling, Nigeria is being respected all over the world as giants of Africa, but then Nigeria needs to show workings, and I just hope that things will get to change, especially with what the sports minister said, talking about picking positives from the Olympic Games. I just hope that things will change. But then, thank you very much, Peter Moreno, for joining us today. And we'll surely look forward to having you some other time and hoping that, yes, the change will definitely start from you and will join you in that fight. Thank you very much for joining.
Thank you. Ofili, I beg, she needs justice. For that 100 meters that she missed, she needs justice, please. If anyone is watching this and can hear what I'm saying, we need all your help and support to make our country great again in track and field. It's not all about football. Not every time it's about football or basketball. Please, anyone that's watching, Favour Ofili needs her justice. Nigeria needs to answer to why she was not in that 100 meters. Please. And all these athletes needs to get their right allowances. Doesn't matter if you're foreign-based or home-based, everybody should get treated equally. Please, anyone that's watching, please support Nigerian athletes and get those people out of our system, please. I'm begging.